LA certainly has its quirks. It has some things to get used to. But like I've been here 8 months now, and it's been like pretty easy, like surprisingly easy.
That's nice.
I think.
What was the biggest difference, like from the transitioning period?
Oh shit. I mean, okay, boring answer. All right, positives. Boring answer is obviously the weather. It's not. It's like super overcast today. I'm feeling kind of at home. Weather's lovely. The people I work with are like some of the nicest people I've ever met, and I think that has a lot to do with them being American. I find typically with American people, they're just super positive and outgoing. That was a culture shock. I'm quite an introverted person. Spend a lot of time inside behind my computer animating. So to be kind of thrown into that environment was certainly a weird scenario. But I think like the main thing has been as this kind of. Have you been to LA before?
No, I have not. That's the thing. So I had the furthest I've been out to was the Midwest. So maybe Nevada for sure. That's going to be the closest I've been to the West Coast.
Sure. I think this is more kind of like a big city kind of problem, but there's a real lack of community. Like England, everything's super close together, and the towns are like typically small, apart from London, obviously. I'm not from London. So I'm used to kind of being brought up in this like small community where people like know each other, and LA's kind of hasn't got that quite yet. But
it might be a cluster.
I'm having a really great time.
That's good though. No, I mean, because you when you moved in general, that was when you got the job for Fearless Records. By congratulations on that. That's probably
Thank you.
One of your most significant parts of your life at the moment. Was it an easy decision to make that when they reached out to you?
Yes and no. Like, obviously the first thing that comes to your head is like, shit, that's such a cool opportunity. But there's a lot of realities that come with, not to get too deep right at the beginning of the podcast. There's a lot of realities that come with that. It's obviously a huge life change, and there's a lot of sacrifice you have to make. But I felt like it's something you like have to do. And I've loved Fearless for like so long, and I'm sure some people watching this, they obviously know who Fearless are. If they know who Dance is, it's that kind of like same pool, and I just had to do it. I think the opportunity of just moving to a new country was like just enticing enough.
That's cool. And California hasn't been the only place in the States you've been. Like, have you been on the East Coast and such?
I've actually been to every state.
Oh, that's sick. And you're not even American, and I can't even get to every state. That's awesome.
That's the reaction I get.
Yeah.
A few years ago, it was like a very small independent project. Me and a couple friends that I worked with, they owned like a hot air balloon marketing company. And we basically set ourselves a challenge of going to every state in America and flying a hot air balloon to set a world record. And it took us 2 months of like touring around the country, kind of like navigating the different wind patterns and whatever. And we did it. It took 2 months, but we set the world record for first people to fly a hot air balloon.
That's pretty sweet. There's so many records out there, I can't keep track of them, but I know that's something that's probably going to be a record for quite some time. Like, I
fucking hope so, because it was a lot of work.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think anybody's going to put in the time to do that. That's incrable. Like, they have
joking the whole time, like, what if like a month after we set this, someone just goes and beats us? Like,
I'd be pretty pissed. I know there was those guys on YouTube. They did a lot of the sports Guinness World Records. Those one-shot guys. So those are like the guys that have been doing it for a while. And they're just like, we're just gonna break every single record that hasn't been actually attempted in for the past 10 years, and then they just go break all of them. Like, look at all these records. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad people could take that opportunity. And when you were in the UK, like
back in school, just quickly.
Yeah,
back
go
in
ahead.
School, did you have the Guinness World of Book of World Records?
I know the library did. Yeah, I was always checking it out though. Like, they had some of the strangest records that I can't remember any of them for what they were, but they were definitely bizarre. Some of them, and some of them were like, the generic ones, like how long can you hold the longest you can hold your breath, or I usually
Dude,
look at the
there were way
sports.
weirder ones than that. They were like,
I know.
I know the ones that always like gross me out were like longest nails, and they like a full page dedicated to this like curled nail.
It took up the whole page. It's like, this is
Pretty
actually
much, it felt like it took up the whole page. It's fucking disgusting. And that person like has that forever now.
Longest hair, and they know what they're doing too. It's not like they just, they're oblivious to it. They said, hey, if I haven't cut my nails in, let's say, like since I was 5 years old, I'm just gonna keep going. Why not? Jesus. Yeah, what a crazy transition though. And I'm glad that you were able to decide that and take advantage of it. And it's crazy because you talking about the community with the UK and that music industry. You had to have been in that scene of your interest in music for so long that you you decide, hey, I'm gonna possibly correlate my art with musicians within the UK. Is that how you kind of brought that about, or how that happened?
Actually, honestly, this all kind of fell together. It was such a weird time. So I was in my last year of university, and me and some buddies had set up a little video production company, and it was very corporate, and it was a really good time. But I was yearning for something more creative, and there's this band called A Lot Like Birds.
I love them.
And
yeah.
They're kind of associated with Dance Gavin Dance. They were doing a competition for fans to make a music video, and I was at the end of my university course, and I had all this time ahead of me. I was like, fuck, I really want to do something, but I don't know how I could do it. And at that point, I hadn't actually touched animation. And I decided, right, I'm going to learn this piece of software. It's called Adobe After Effects. And I'm going to make a lyric video. Because at that time, lyric videos were, the thing.
Yes, they were.
Everyone had a lyric video.
It was the art.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon. And I ended up, I remember I made, the first kind of 10 seconds of this video. And I sent it to their guitarist, Mikey, via Twitter. And he said, dude, if you finish this, I guarantee you will win it. And that was enough motivation for me. I was like, dude, I fucking love this band. The idea of being able to make something for them. I'm going to do this. And I think it took me a month or 2 months of just working on this video. It's for a song called Think Dirty Out Loud. And it won the competition. And off the back of that, I just started to kind of slowly get work, mostly in America. So I haven't really touched the UK. I haven't worked with many UK bands, which is a surreal thing to do. I mean, the same way I've worked with you and your band Poeta, and again, you're American. You heard through me from word of mouth of kind of just associates in that kind of little realm of music, bands.
Yeah, everything you collaborated on was mostly American. And the mutual friend that we had, you also worked, Bruce Wagner. He was our producer at the time. He and his older band, The Weekend Riot, they had a music video directed by you. And when we went to the studio, I just asked him, because I was already searching after I took my drum tracks. I was just searching for content creators. And he's like, so do you have anybody in mind? He's like, yeah, I got this guy, Johnny. He's actually really good, so hit him up. I was like, for sure. And you got back to me within a matter of hours and this music's great. Yeah, for sure. We'll work together. I was like, sweet. And those are still our logos. And the album cover looks great, dude. Yeah.
I remember
super rad.
Well.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was saying to you earlier, we've been internet buddies for a little while now. Quite a few years. And this is the first time we're actually meeting face to face. So
I love it.
I'm stoked to see you, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. We would always send in. We would say, huh? What?
I'm fucking jealous of your beard.
It's gonna come out a little bit
you can
longer,
grow the full thing.
I can send you over a wig worth of my beard if you need to.
Weird, but okay,
you know what I mean? I don't know. You never know what's gonna happen in the later years. What's it called? So you did that, and it was funny because that you were already picked up with DGD at the time, Dance Gavin Dance. For if people don't know, you've worked with Dance Gavin Dance for quite some time. I know you were directing a lot of their lyric videos as well as now you're starting to get more involved with their album cover artwork because they use Mattis previously for their album covers. Did you start doing their album covers first, or how did that start with that relationship?
So Mateus is actually he is the album cover guy.
Mateus,
so
yeah.
he has always done their album covers. The new one looks slightly different, I know, because the band requested the art to be in black and white, and they were going to color it in themselves afterwards. So I know it looked a little different. It's definitely his style, but the colors are certainly more popping than like some of the previous albums. But so Mateus is the dude that does their album artwork, and then in the past I've typically used his style as an influence to kind of shape the way the music videos looked, because for the sake of like, not to get boring, but like marketing, branding, it's like you want it to be kind of like in line, right?
Yeah,
but it just so happened it's a style that I feel I don't think I emulate it perfectly. I think I put my own little twist on it, but it's a style that I kind of feel comfortable doing. I would freaking love to do a DGD album artwork, but I also I don't know if I'd want to take away the legacy of Mateus so far doing every single one.
Yeah.
I know at one point there was a consideration to not use Mateus. It's for acceptance speech. And they were going to go a very different route, and I'm really glad they didn't.
Yeah, because everything looks great on there, and they're one of the bands that have stuck with their content creator over the years. Because I obviously your videos have been really well produced, and on your YouTube channel, on Howe Media, you actually have a speed run of you working on all of those music videos and directing them and such, which they look fantastic. I mean,
thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
I don't know how you have the patience for that. It just looks so tedious doing all the little things. When I start watching, I'm like, man, that guy's got a lot of detail in there. Like, it's so fucking cool. Like, that's
Dude,
pretty
I
rad.
don't know how I have the patience either. Honestly, it's I'm lucky enough to like they're like they're my favorite band, so I have this like drive. Well, with any client I work with, I always put my full into it. But I remember the first time I got to work for those, I had this huge drive to like put all the effort I could into it, and unfortunately that does take a lot of time. I know the last video I did for them, Son of Robot, I was working for Fearless Records at the time during the week, so I only had the weekends to work on this video, and it took me 8 months of working Saturday and Sunday, as well as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on Fearless stuff, and it freaking killed me.
I'm sure it did.
So it was so hard, but
you're probably drained. Yeah, no, you're probably drained. But that's the passion, though. I mean, like that's what people thrive to do, man. Like if you love to do it, I was talking to my founder of my record label, CI Records, Jeremy. The stress that we have is good stress, man. Like it's just you're doing something you love, you're doing every day. So sometimes the stress can't be as bad as it would be if you were, doing like one of the normal cashier or I don't know, one of the normal jobs out there.
Yeah, I mean, you must find that yourself as an artist. Writing music, like it's not always easy. It does take time and patience to get it kind of, perfect how you want, right?
Yeah, because the writer's block, dude. I mean, that can really set you back for a week or so when you're trying to be creative with, whether it's your new music and you don't want it to sound like your older albums that you've released, or you're just trying to be experimental or progressive. Like it depends on your genre, but the writer's block can definitely take it could put you in a back seat for a little bit because you're like, how do I not have and you think of these ideas, but you can't put them out into a recording or a scratch track. So but at the end result, I mean, it's totally worth it.
When's the last time you experienced writer's block, and like, how did you get out of it?
The last time I experienced it was probably when we had singles that we were working on that we're actually rewriting after Warped in 2017 when we were on that tour. The problem was we had a couple songs that we had no problem getting together and writing them. It just took a matter of 2-3 weeks with scratching them. And then by the time we got to the studio, I think there was a song that my percussion didn't really match well with the chorus, and we were trying so many different things, and it took me a couple hours to sit back and work on it while Kevin was working on his vocals. And unfortunately, we're never going to release those tracks. We're actually rewriting them now, but because they're going to be coming out hopefully soon throughout May and the rest of the summer. But yeah, it's just you have to kind of just walk away from it for a little bit. That's what I usually do. If I really have a tough problem trying to write something that I can't get out of my head or can't resolve that problem, I just walk away from it, take some time, get distracted, and come back and see what I can do. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Similar question: how do you know when to stop? You say you're rewriting it. Like, how do you know when like something's complete?
Well, when see, that's the thing. It's a tricky question because it's really never complete. Because you basically finish the song and then you come up with ideas like say, "Oh, I want to add this. Oh, I want to add that." Right before you go into the studio. That's what we've been doing too. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't really stop. I mean, it's just you keep adding to it, you keep growing to it, you keep changing parts, and then once I take it to the studio, that is when it's finally complete. When we
Okay.
have what we're going to the studio with.
I mean, at
So
that point, you don't really have a choice, right? It's like it's recorded. There's nothing you can do.
yeah, we're we're moving on to the next song if we have to. Well, John, what is your favorite DGD album art from Audio Addiction Media? What's up, Brandon?
What's my favorite art?
From
Oh
DGD's
shit.
album art, yeah, no
Um,
pressure at all
honestly,
whatsoever.
honestly, Afterburner is sick.
It is really sick,
The
dude.
first time I saw that, I was like, "Geez, they nailed this."
Mhm.
Uh, Man, I think that's it. I love I mean I mentioned earlier I love what they're doing with the colors. I
Mhm.
think it really pops. I love the little Minotaur character who seems to be he I think he is like being coined as Gavin.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see
Uh
that. Yeah.
um yeah, but I mean okay, so before that probably Happiness.
Okay. Yeah.
I think Happiness is like a really cute little doodle. And
Yeah.
I love how connected people are to the little guy in the boat. They seem to love that guy. He's
He's
a cool
just
little
a good little
character.
he's a little good protagonist. Everybody just wants to follow him around and stuff. He is cute. He is a cute guy. I personally love Mothership. I think it's because
Oh man.
it's a biased answer because when we were on tour in 2017, they were on tour and they set up their stage as the album art with Mothership because it started getting a lot of attention, which I
Yeah.
was like, God, the colors just really pop, man. Like I could dig that shit for a while.
It's
Um,
so iconic. I think yeah, visually that is probably going to be their most iconic. It's just the colors contrast each other really nicely, and yeah, it's a
mhm.
sick album art.
Yeah, and they just
Dude,
keep
I
pushing
hate
music.
Mateus so much. He can just. Have you ever seen him draw?
Not
Like, have you been on his Instagram?
no, but I just followed him recently. I knew that he was the artist for them. I just didn't know if he did all of his album artwork. But
Yeah, he can just sit down and not have an idea, and just in one sitting without any errors make these amazing pieces of art. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that?
I don't know how he does
How
that.
is that like a thing? Like the amount of times I have to like erase, and he's doing it all with fountain pen. He's not even doing it digitally. So
Hmm.
he's sick.
Hmm.
He's really cool.
Yeah, I remember. Watching your videos too because it was just one of those things because you started with video production as you said earlier, and you gradually worked into doing the animations with those kinds of programs. So was it strange? Because I personally use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop every once in a while. Like it's just like a hobby.
Yeah.
But was that difficult in transitioning over the years with those programs? Because they probably change
Um.
drastically every once in a while.
So so picking up the programs to begin with was like horrible. Like After Effects. So Illustrator, I still don't touch Illustrator. I hate Illustrator.
Mm.
It it's it feels. I'm so used to using Photoshop that it just feels so backwards. It feels like they intentionally made this program that's like does kind of the same thing, but like the complete like opposite way. And I'm not a fan of Illustrator yet. But After Effects was a real learning curve.
Hmm.
The best way I describe it is After Effects is like a toolbox, and it's full of all these like insane tools. You've just got to figure out what each tool does, and
Hmm.
once you just keep familiarizing yourself with this product, and the best way I think learning is using YouTube tutorials, not for the sake of like directly copying what the person's doing, but just for like familiarizing yourself with everything, like how it's laid out.
Hmm.
Um, I've freaking completely lost my point. After Effects, I hated After Effects when I started using it, but I familiarized myself with it, and I use it every day, and I freaking love it now. It's
Good.
such a powerful tool, and anyone who's trying to learn it and kind of they're going up that hill, like it will go downhill eventually. It will get easier.
Hmm.
Just keep cycling up that hill.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, because I like I said, I dabble in those Adobe products, and a lot. It takes a lot. Like, let me see what I actually have right here. I don't have it on this computer, but I have After Effects. I have
Oh,
Lightroom.
have you ever used it?
I have dabbled with it. It is. It is you gotta wrap your fucking head around it to understand it. But I get the basics. I really do. Lightroom's addicting. That's easy. But it's just one of those things that Adobe has nailed some of their programs on the head. But I just there have been other programs out there. I'm sure it made it easier for you. But how did you come in contact with DGD? Because I mean, that must you had you had the relationship with A Lot Like Birds with that competition. But I mean, how did you guys build that?
How did I meet them? So I worked for A Lot Like Birds, and then around that same time, a band called Stolas signed to Will Swan, the guitarist of Dance Gavin Dance, started a record label called Blue Swan Records, and Stolas were the first band that got signed to them. And I remember they put out a song called Medusa, and it blew my fucking mind. It was like, do you know the song?
I do listen to Stolas, but I don't know the song strictly now.
Go back, go and revisit that song. That is an insane song. And at that time, I was kind of just finished A Lot Like Birds, and I was like trying to kind of progress, but so I reached out to Stolas, and I was like, hey, I just want to make this video for you, like no charge. I want to prove myself. I want to do this. This seems like fun. I really resonate with their like album artwork. It was kind of under the water, and I've always loved the ocean. So I just made this lyric video for them, and I remember like a few months later, Dance Gavin Dance were playing in my little town, my city, Plymouth in England, and I introduced myself to the band. I was like, hey, I'm the guy that made that Stolas video, and they really dug it, and they, I think in passing, kind of said like, oh, you should do a music video for us, and I kind of latched onto that. I was like, dude, I'll totally do a music video for you. And it ended up happening. I think it was kind of just luck.
Yeah, the stars aligned at that point.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, if I didn't ask at that point, it never would have happened. And yeah, that's how it happened. I was in communication with the band. Remember they sent me, I think it was like I don't know if it was like a demo. I think it was a demo of Death of the Robot of Human Hair. And they said, like, you know, how do you feel about this? And
that was like one of the first ones, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the very first one.
And, yeah, I freaking loved it. And me and John, the screamer, kind of came up with some ideas. He told me the themes of the song that he kind of wanted it to follow, and it ended up coming together.
Yeah, and it seems like you have an easy collaboration with these artists. I mean, with working with you and I mean, dude, it was the smoothest conversation I ever had. You know what I mean? I've worked with a lot of people as well who were content creators. Back in the metalcore days, back in 2013, everybody was eating with the lyric videos, like you said, like editors, content creators with lyric videos. It just was flooding YouTube, and that was the cool thing. If you had a really cool lyric video, it's basically just as better, if not better, than a music video for some of these artists. And I'm sure that you've had your fair share of difficulties, or maybe not. I don't know, because with working with Fearless Records, how does communicating with those bands work? Are you talking to the artist specifically? How do you go about that process?
It varies. It varies from project to project. I mean, there's a chain. You know, there's a group of people in Fearless, and there's people kind of like not above me, but people that kind of take care of some of the things I don't need to do. So I have a couple people that kind of come up with what they need to post on social media, and then they just ask me like, can you make it? And then my job is literally just be like, yeah, I'll make it.
Yeah,
which is nice because I don't have to do any of the logistics. It's just the creative side.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Yeah, so some projects, bands are definitely more kind of hands-on. I know bands like Iceman Kills are like very kind of into their look. They're very like conscious of, you know, what's being put out, so they will be more involved, and I will end up talking more to the band. But some bands are like Dance Gavin Dance are probably one of the most laid-back bands I've ever worked with. Like I remember I had to make I'm not going to say which band, but I had to make a little, you know, like the Spotify canvases, just those 8-second like little things. I had more notes on a Spotify canvas from one band in Fearless Records than I've had like my entire music videos for Dance Gavin Dance. I think I had like 2 notes for my music videos for Dance Gavin Dance.
That's crazy. You know what? I can kind of see that now because you throw in some subliminal messaging in some of those videos. I think Son of a Robot. I think if I'm not mistaken, when they were transferring the DNA, it reminded me of Pokemon in a way. Was that on purpose?
That,
you know what I mean?
I love throwing in my little
let's go! I'm thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, this guy's definitely creative with subliminal messaging. Like there's no way that was on accident. It just reminded me of transferring. You know.
I totally do. Had to remember what did that Game Boy link exchange thing look like, and I totally mirrored it.
Fuck yeah!
I'm glad you picked up on that. I didn't see a lot of people mention that. I was like, oh, maybe DGD fans weren't Pokemon fans.
I mean, don't try to get me to debunk the Da Vinci Code, but I could definitely pick out some subliminal messages in those videos, because it was just Bill had to transfer his DNA. I don't even know what he was. I don't even know if he was an Eevee. I can't remember. If anybody remembers, good for you. I mean, let me know in the comments or something, because I can't remember. God, I miss those games. Yeah, so that's crazy. So, because I remember you announcing, because we've been friends on Facebook too since you've worked with us, and you made an announcement that you did a lot of Under Oaths content, and I was like, oh, and then you announced that you were working with Fearless, and everything just looks, it just looks fantastic. So, how do you get that? I mean, I know you're collaborating with those panels or of people at Fearless, but do you have any rituals to grab and reach of inspiration to find that image into your head, or is it just it's just drop and go kind of thing?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I think I'm lucky that my favorite thing about working for Fearless is just that there's so many different styles. Every band has their own style, and you're kind of so if people don't know, for Fearless, I kind of take care of any kind of social media posts. I typically would cut the album art apart, fill in the gaps, and animate it, and just bring it to life. Boost their production. Mm-hmm. And I love working with different styles every day. Mm-hmm. I've freaking forgotten your question. Is that
do you reach out for that kind of inspiration? If you get if you get the memo for what this band wants on a Fearless Records band, do you kind of take that and go and try to reach for inspiration relating to that specific art that they want you to create, or is it just a drop and go? You're all right, you put it in your head and you just start creating right off the bat?
Yeah, it kind of varies. So typically, the album artwork for the bands are taken care of by a handful of people. We do have a small creative team inside the company that owns Fearless Records that handle and do album artwork, but typically it's kind of outsourced. So I normally have something to refer to. I have some form of reference to help inspire me, and that would be this kind of pre-generated art, which I'm really grateful for, because I think if I had to come up with album art all the time, I can imagine myself getting creatively burned out. And I don't know how anyone can really the people that I follow some amazing artists on Instagram. I don't know how they keep that flame going every day, making cool stuff. I'm the kind of person that needs to have a little bit of a break in between the larger scale projects. So yeah, I'm lucky in the sense that I'm kind of almost a little bit spoon fed. Here's the album artwork. The hard part has been done. Now it's your turn to add your part of the piece and like bring it to life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I kind of feel that. Yeah, no, it does. No, it does. I'm just curious because it's just when I do the same thing you do. Mostly, I'll just I'll play and I'll write, and then I'll take a break from it, and then just let's see how it pans out. And our guitar player Anthony Dentino, dude, he could just write. I don't know how he does it. He just writes masterpieces all the time, like just one song after the other, after the other, after the other, and they're just demos, but they're full. Structured songs. I'm like, okay, I guess we'll just work with this. Yeah, no, I just never. What I usually do is and the reason why I ask that is because this is how he takes it with certain songs. He'll usually think of colors and how they contrast the sound of the song in itself. Like especially with what we're doing for our singles, we're doing something a little bit different with the album artwork that I actually wanted to take on the responsibility of doing. And he, it's dark, it's aggressive, So I'm just basically using two colors. Like how Golden Fields was very bright and uplifting in a
Yeah.
sense. Now we're still using that same color scheme with the gold, but we're just surrounding it in black to make it seem like we're about to lose that light. I don't know. We've been on a hiatus for 2 years, so it was pretty dark for those 2 years. So we're just gonna put that on the album. And it's
You're
cool.
gonna come back swinging.
I hope so, man. I hope people like what we put out there. You know, it's just it's fun. I thoroughly enjoy it. I love those dudes so much. And it's cool because did you work on August Burns Red album too? With
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The two recent ones with Guardians.
I made their anything you see of their album art that's like moving in their social media posts, or for this new album that's just come out, and their last album, Phantom Anthem. That was actually the first, I think, album cycle I worked for with Fearless. And I remember shitting my pants because I was like, holy shit, like I'm in with this company, like I need to make a really good impression.
It's the biggest metalcore band in the world right now, so no pressure.
And also, yeah, August Burns Red, I just gotta say, August Burns Red are like the nicest people.
They seem like they really do.
You hear like "Don't Meet Your Heroes," like August Burns Red. They are fucking so nice. Anyway, yeah. So it's funny, kind of looking at how I felt on this album run, where I've been doing this for a while now, and I feel comfortable in my workplace, knowing these people, and like what it was like when I did the last album, where I was just absolutely bricking my pants, and everything I sent off for approval, I was like, oh shit, I hope they like this. It's just such a different time for me.
But it's a lot of work, man. It's just, I guess you're just so filled up now. I mean, like when you said you were doing DGD, but you also had the obligation for Fearless, you know, and being burnt out, man. Like that's just so cool, and I'm super stoked for you. It's just one of those things that I love seeing people put so much time and effort into their work, and then it just comes out and starts blooming. Whenever
man. That's really sweet.
I appreciate that, but that's inspiring. Like, it's funny because, you know, even with this podcast, I've probably said it way too many times. I want to stop saying this after, like, I think you're on the 6th episode. I just want people to get an education out of it or learn something from it. And if that one person, like, you know, if it triggers something for that one person, I already did my job. And these are mostly my friends and colleagues. So, I mean, we've been like talking we send each other gifts like over the past couple of years. And dude, you have, if you're not following John on social media right now on Instagram, please follow him. You post some really funny shit, man. Like, and I'm just like always like sending LMAO. Like, it's just so fucking goofy. I'm like, I fucking love this dude. I was like, really I need to get like a drink with you or something and just chill. I know it's gonna happen one of these days or something, but
I freaking love that.
Yeah, no, we're gonna do that. Yeah, especially with the quarantine. And that has not hopefully affected you at all with what's going on right now.
No, we're all of Fearless are now working from home. It's certainly difficult to kind of. I used to work from home for years, and it like the idea, as I'm sure everyone's kind of experienced now. The idea of being at home like sounds great, but actually after a while it kind of sucks. It gets lonely, and it gets like you can't separate work from life, and it's something I wouldn't mind ending soon. I'm looking forward to getting out of the quarantine. I
look forward to people like just being happy. I see a lot of people really down, and some of these people don't have the opportunities like you and I have, and it's, you know, it's heartbreaking. And thankfully there's so many charities that are going out to support these people. I know a couple people on Facebook, they're like, if you need food, I'll drive to your house. And I'm just grateful for people who are like that. They're trying to, you know, keep the community together. It's so good. But I'm sure LA traffic is. Yeah.
Sorry, carry on, mate.
No, I just mean like I'm sure LA. If you have to drive anywhere, LA traffic is not what it usually is. So you probably have an easier.
Want to know something?
Please
tell me. I don't have a car in LA.
No shit, really?
Yeah, and everyone I've talked to when I moved here was like, if you can get by in LA without a car, like, don't get a car.
That's really smart.
Worst idea you can make.
It kind of is, yeah.
I just bought a bike. I bought a bicycle, and you can get frickin' anywhere. And it's good exercise.
Yeah, I haven't been to LA, so I don't know. Like Philly, if I was living in Philadelphia because I'm 30 minutes out from it, I'd easily get a bike. You can literally bike anywhere to where you really need to go. I mean, it takes you 15, 20 minutes. A little bit
extra bit of effort.
Yeah, just a little bit. Trust me. I don't know if I'd do it from Northeast Philadelphia to Philadelphia. I'd probably take the L at that point. But excuse me.
I've never been to Philadelphia. I've been to every state, but we kind of only skimmed the very borders, so we could like dart around.
If you're,
I've never actually been to Philadelphia. I'd love to go.
if you come here, let me know.
Oh, mate,
I'll definitely host you at the house and shit, and you can stay here for a little bit, so you're not getting in a hotel.
Yeah.
I do that with my boys. I do that with We Were Sharks, pop punk band from Canada. What's up, my guys? They'll be on next week, I believe. We're scheduling something now, and Abandoned by Bears. They're an easycore band from Sweden, so I miss those dudes so much.
Oh,
but yeah, Philadelphia's cool. It's one of those cities that. It's just historically, it's like renowned as a historical city due to, one of the original 13 colonies. Used to be the capital, basically, of, like Independence Hall was basically the capital of this country at one point. Signed the Declaration of Independence, blah, 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 blah. The only problem they have is it's not the cleanest city in the world. So,
dude,
they really need to get their shit together.
Right outside my apartment, there's like a mountain of shit, and I can't tell if it's dog or human. And it's like... It's gone white. It's just
Jesus Christ,
awful. Dude! I know that feeling.
My cousin, when he first moved in with me, he in the suburbs, we were driving just to get food or something, and he's like, "Oh, you guys had mountains in the suburbs up here and where you live." And I was like, "That's actually a landfill. It's not a fucking mountain." He's like, "You're full of shit." I was like, "I swear to God, dude. Like, sometimes you can smell it when it's muggy in the spring or summertime. It's not the best thing in the world."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
no.
yeah. The people who live in that area, they get a check every year. If they are homeowners, due to the inconvenience of waste management. So I mean, whatever. We need to have like a trash wars between LA and fucking. Oh, New York's really bad. New York is probably king of like the. I'm sorry if you live in New York City, but I just don't know how it's hard to clean them up. And the cleanest city I've ever been to was Toronto when I toured there with We Were Sharks. Gorgeous, man. Gorgeous city. Like they're doing something.
Why do you think that is?
I honestly don't know. I mean, Lancaster, when we were playing shows up there, they have street cleaning like every other day or something. Oh. Yeah, or bi-weekly. First week of the month is a Monday. Second week of the month is a Wednesday. I don't know. They find it in the budget to do it. But Philadelphia
They're just all OCD.
I mean, that's that dude. Oh, that's me to a T, man. Like it's either I am completely clean and organized, or I'm just a filth, and then I just have to and then once it gets too bad, I just completely put everything back together. I
was thinking, like, I wonder how many germaphobes are gonna like be produced from this whole experience, because like I was thinking the same thing. Also, like, now, whenever I touch something, I have to like wash my hands, and that's probably gonna stay with me for a little while. I don't know about like anyone else that's currently going through this, but I think like the level in germaphobes after this is going to frickin' spike.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, because you don't, especially if you have weak immune systems or you have people in the family that they could probably get sick from a disease like that. They're going to be all the time just washing their hands, having pruned fingers. I know this generation is going to come up, and in Pennsylvania where I'm at now, school's closed for the rest of the year. So I mean, they're definitely
the whole year.
The whole year, they're doing online all year, like no prom, no sports night, no field trip, senior trip, nothing. They're done. They're going to continue online for education, and then they're going to graduate or whatever.
Oh, so they still have to. Okay, they still have to go to school. Just
correct. Yeah, they don't want to. See, that was my biggest fear. Because you imagine if they actually implemented where you had to retake that year due to this pandemic, I would be pretty livid. I'm like, that's a whole year off my life. I don't know if that's a logical thing to do, but they're not doing it. So that's good.
I'd be livid, but then if I was expected to perform as well at home than in school, like I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people don't do very well that year.
Right, exactly. I totally agree with you, because some people are hands-on learners with education, and you're basically getting a lesson through a screen where you can't physically touch or do, or I'm seeing these viral pranks, but what they have to do, from what it's looked like, every student has to mute their microphone, and the teacher only can talk. So, I mean, they're not allowed to have a conversation at all. It's just, unless I guess they raise their hand and ask a question on mute.
Do you know who Nelk are on YouTube?
Who?
Nelk?
I don't think so.
They're just their channel. They've done the best kind of Zoom college prank things I've seen so far. Check them out. If anyone's listening to this, check them out. It's funny.
I have TikTok. When I'm addicted to that, I usually see all those pranks. They'll drop the pen, or like, hey, Timmy, I need to borrow a pencil, and they'll just hand it up, drop it down, go side to side. It's pretty clever, man. These kids are good. These kids are really good.
TikTok has solidified my insecurities of feeling old.
Oh no, dude! What?
TikTok.
You're not even close to an old
understand. I'll see. Like, I understand compilations, but like just the app itself, I haven't been able to wrap my head around it yet.
I just love how Simple Plan keeps coming up in my feed with the transition of how they are as adults, and then when they're with kids and stuff. I'm just a kid. And the fun nightmare.
Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really? Oh, it's
like I feel my wrinkles starting to like set in.
It's a Simple Plan song, and they just they go back to those lyrics, and they sit on the back of like their dad or something from an old photograph, and then when the lyric hits, I'm just a kid. It goes right into their old picture, but I feel like it's so easy to go viral on TikTok. I don't know.
Do you think you could do it?
I tried that thick boy sound. My golden retriever is a monster. Like, he looks like a cow. God bless the dog. Yeah, he's got a thyroid problem. So that's the excuse we have for him. But we don't feed people food, but he's huge. And I tried the damn boy, he's thick, motherfucker. And like it picked up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Boy. That's a thick ass boy, motherfucker. Damn. I get more of the not viral, but I get more likes on my comments. There was a dog barking at like a candle or something. I was like, must have been a sorcerer in his past life or something, and like people thought that was funny. And I'm like, I guess I don't know. So I'm not the TikTok savvy person. I have to take.
You're doing it though, man. That's the first thing.
Like, I guess. Yeah.
I haven't even touched it, so you're ahead of me.
I touched it with fat dogs. that's at least a step forward. Do you look forward to any of these? I know all these tours are being postponed and such, which is a shame with the music industry going on. But do you have any tours that you're looking forward to before this happened? Because I know DGD was going to do like a huge thing.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to the show. I'd like told myself I've never stage dived before, and I told myself if there's a way I could get myself on the stage, I was going to stage dive because I wanted to save it for like something that meant something to me. I crowdsurfed for the Sorry, what was that?
Absolutely, save it for like that moment. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah. I crowd surfed for the first time a few months ago to Sum 41, and they were my first ever favorite band. So like, I knew at that moment like I had to crowd surf, but stage dive is for DGD for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously Swanfest, I was really looking forward to that because I missed out last year. Last year I was hoping to have been out in America, but my visa took frickin' forever. But other tours, I was really hoping. I don't know if they announced it, but I was hoping for Enter Shikari to come to America.
Ooh. How do you feel about their new album? I'm really loving the experimental that they put into it. Ooh, that is different. I love it. I'm obsessed.
They are fearless. Like, they should be on Fearless Records.
They should.
Like, for being so fearless. Like, they and somehow they always manage to like retain their sound. Like, you can hear it and be like, yeah, that's Enter Shikari, even though it sounds like completely different to anything they've done.
Mm-hmm.
And I really respect that. And with DGD, like, I think the single piece of like ingredient to their success is the fact that they can do quality and quantity. Like, the fact that they're constantly like pumping out these albums that are like great. They're really good. Like, they've never had a dud album. I think that alone is why they're doing so well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just everything in itself, the sound, the production, the content. Yeah. It's a creative PR campaign. It's very well done. It was definitely took a lot of time and just thought into the whole process. I mean, Guardians is literally like ABR. As soon as I heard it, I mean, I put it on repeat to kind of dissect everything. That's what I usually do with new albums. That is the fucking heaviest album I've ever heard from them. Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
Like, it is in your face brutal. I'm like, this is fucking... I should be doing deadlifts with 300 pounds right now. Like, that's how I feel. But I obviously can't do that. I'm nowhere fucking near. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, I was looking forward to MCR. I don't know if they're doing their national tour in September starting. And I don't know if that's going to be postponed. I mean, that whole tour sold out within like weeks, not even. It was
Weeks? I
fucking
thought
crazy.
it was.
No, it was probably days, hours. Like, it
Yeah.
was nuts. I'm just saying that just because I don't remember the last time I looked at it, but I think I sat, somebody found a link, and they posted on Facebook, like, said, Homedale's going to have a second date, and I was like, click that link. I was like, I'm not waiting for the first date. I'm only going to be able to get the second date for sure.
Absolutely.
So that worked out.
So you got a ticket?
I got like the most nosebleed seat ticket I could get my hands on, because they were all, as soon as I logged in, all the good seats were gone. I was fucking pissed. I was like, I don't care, I'm going, regardless.
Is the whole thing
it doesn't
seated?
matter. It looks like they're playing in amphitheaters mostly. Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I saw
That'd
them,
be a cool experience.
yeah, when I saw them, they played at an amphitheater, where they have the lawns in the back usually. So that was one of their. That was the first show I've seen by them. That was cool. It was the Used, Knockline Trio and shit.
Did you wait? You saw them back in the day?
When I was like 13, it was my first show. It was MCR when Three Cheers came out. Fucking the Used when, like, that album. I can't remember the album's name, but like, and the Alkaline Trio. It was just a fucking huge show. Like, sold out. I definitely got a contact high for sure. Being 13 years old, I was starving on the way home. My mom wanted to fucking kick my ass. Like, you're not getting food. It's like 12 o'clock at night. I was like, come on, fuck. And my girlfriend at the time was like, dude, you need to calm down. I don't know. I was all amped up from that show. Did you ever get a chance to do Warped Tour? Like, I think they came out to the UK a couple times and usually go to Canada, but did you ever catch one of those festivals?
I had my first ever Warped Tour 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. Fearless. Oh, when was the last Warped Tour?
2018 was the last cross country tour. 2019 was the festival. Yeah, 2019 was the festival.
Cross country.
You did the last cross country.
Yeah, I remember Fearless were very kind to fly me out.
That's pretty cool.
For that kind of week, and it was. I've always wanted to go, but like obviously it wasn't in my country, so I never had the opportunity. And it was kind of exactly how I imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of young people.
Yeah, a lot of young people. Yeah, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
No, it hasn't. Which is it's kind of nice to know that it, like, the emo legacy is being handed down. It's not something that's just going to apply to us. It's like it's still going. It's kind of comforting. I don't know why. But I really liked Warped Tour a lot. It was weird being at a festival in the sun. I'm not used to that.
Oh, it was hot, dude.
I'm used to being at festivals in rain, in mud, with we call them Wellington boots. I think you guys just call them rubber boots.
Yeah, exactly. I've never heard of that phrase before, ever.
Wellington boots.
Yeah, that's pretty creative. I like that.
But yeah, so it was a cool experience. When was the last one you went to?
2018. I didn't go to the festival at all. I just went to the local one. No, I don't know. I think it was just mostly like I don't want to get too personal, but when Poeta was basically on a hiatus, that kind of that put a hole in my heart. Which is nobody's fault, honestly. Everything happens for a reason. And when I did I tweeted out our music video to Warped Tour. I was like, flashback to when 2017 Warped Tour, because basically it was the final goodbye, and Warped Tour retweeted it, and I was like, like, they supported us as an underground band like that too, which blew my mind. It was super fucking cool. Like, I talked to Kevin as my first episode. It was good to talk to him again. I mean, I'm sure the next time we play Knockout, he'll kick my ass like he did on Warped Tour. But no, I didn't go to the festival, and I heard it was a good time. But I also heard like there was a rain delay and such. But it looked crazy. Yeah, it looked crazy. They might come back. I don't know. There's like an open-ended question I asked Kevin. I said, if you're working on a festival.
Conspiracy theory. I have no inside information. This is just my opinion, but I think they're totally coming back.
I do too. That's just a personal. That's like deep down. I think that it just needed a break, a timeout. It just needed a timeout because he said it wasn't about the money. He said it was about the kids. The community wasn't really supporting each other. It was more like a competition, and he couldn't stand it, which I don't fucking blame him. He did not create the tour for that reason, so he's basically putting the tour in a timeout until everybody can just grow up, I guess. I don't know. So we'll have to see what he does.
It makes sense. It makes sense. But I think give it a few more years. Whenever the next anniversary will be, maybe 30, right? Did they just have their 25th?
Yeah, that was 2019. Yeah.
All right. In 5 years' time, we'll look back at this video and be like, yeah, the 30th.
We called it.
Tour
Fucking George and John called it, dude. They called it, and then we'll be on the tour doing something. I know we will be.
I'm gonna be headlining. Just I don't know what I do.
Live art, dude. You never know. That's fucking cool. The way I can do like the little like 1, 2 fingers together.
That blows my mind. It's not quite as strong as yours. Hey, that's pretty good.
And I don't know why, but it just freaks people out when I do that. And they're like, they know how to do it, but I'll just go up to them like next to people, freak them out. It's like a magician thing. Are you working on anything? I know like you're very busy with Fearless and stuff, but I'm really curious as to do you have any other like projects you really want to work on in the near future, or something that like you want to get into and take that next step into your art?
Yeah,
there's always something more.
I do. So I'm not working on a video for Dance Gavin Dance this album cycle.
Okay.
And that's purely because like I don't have time. I don't have the time like to do it the way I want to do it.
Oh, for sure.
And B, legally I can't. Like I'm here on a work visa.
Mm-hmm.
Your government only want me working for my the people that
that you work for
me, and
it has to be under Fearless, yeah.
So I can't at the moment, but I feel like I needed this time in my life to kind of rejuvenate a bit. Like the last dance project completely like burned me out, it like wiped me out, and I didn't want to do anything after that. But I am getting that energy back, and I do want to invest myself in kind of like I love making music videos because I love the little narrative and the emotions that come into it that you don't get with making social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's different.
Ephemeral social media ads. So yeah, I'll definitely do something like it again in the future. I'm really getting into like graphic novels, and to anyone who doesn't know, the band have hired these 2 super talented guys to make a graphic novel series out of my characters that I did for the music videos. And I haven't had a lot of say in it. I haven't had any say in it. I know kind of like the direction it's going, and it's so cool to see like these things that I made be given to someone else to like carry on for a little while. And I think everyone's going to be super pumped by it. The person who's doing the art is fucking amazing. Like, I'm not trying to be humble. I don't consider myself to be a super good illustrator. I have a style.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to anyone who maybe wants to get into illustration but feels like they can't draw, like just find your style that you're comfortable with, and nail that style, and it will work. Like, but this guy, like he's freaking awesome. So keep an eye out for that graphic novel. But I'd love to do a graphic novel of my own one day. I'm really getting into.
That's pretty cool.
That medium. I don't read a lot of books because I just have the worst attention span. But
same.
I blame like Vine and stuff for that. But yeah, I love doing graphic novels. But aside from that, nothing too huge.
Okay.
I'm happy where I am at the moment, just doing what I'm doing for a little while.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm so stoked for you. If you are interested in John's art and how he does it, I'm gonna post your YouTube page. It's John Howe Media, and will you be posting more on that maybe in the near future?
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I've recently I treated myself to an iPad because of the quarantine, because I want to get back.
Yeah, you told me
doodling.
that. Fuck yeah, you have to.
I've fallen out of love with a little bit with doodling, so I bought myself an iPad to get back into it, and I'm doing some more sketches and like cartoony things. So I'm sure you'll see that on social media too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and are you gonna? Did you ever get into writing music? Like, were you ever like musically inclined to write songs or anything?
I really wanna. I play drums.
Fuck yeah, it's the best instrument, obviously. So
yeah, drums. Wait, can you see? I have like a little electronic kit. Where is it?
I still have to get one. Yeah, is that the Roland? The
yeah, man.
Yeah, is it the nylon pads, or is it just rubber?
It's the nylon.
It's nylon. Oh, those are the best ones. You get that bounce
Yeah,
back so
I
easily.
couldn't gel with rubber.
Yeah, the rubber,
It's,
you have to force it a little bit. Fucking love those things,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
but
That's
drums are fucking
flawless.
awesome. I would love to get into writing music. I haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm always looking for new ways to be creative. So I'm gonna talk to you after this to get some little tips on what I should be buying.
Dude,
What I should
absolutely.
get
You
into.
gotta like just if you have any questions, you're just more than welcome to call me or text me.
Thank you, man.
You know,
Thank
I'll
you.
always help you out. Yeah, because I have two students. One's 9, one's 11, and you know they're two completely different kind of kids. Like one's into pop, one's into like AC/DC kind of stuff, rock and roll. So it's it's fun. It's just it's interesting when someone's interested in learning an instrument or anything else in general that you're being taught through a mentor or through an educator, because you see their progression over time, and it's just when they, especially when they thoroughly enjoy it, it's pretty
Yeah. Oh,
rewarding.
yeah. I think
You should
you
start
need to
hosting
enjoy it for
classes,
sure.
man. Now that I think about it, you should start hosting classes, like seminars of some sort. You know what I mean?
I'd
Or
love to, but it's just I get really weird when someone's watching me work over my shoulder. It's like I don't know. It's a weird thing. But I should consider it, or just like make little like tip videos. Or I have seen people
yeah.
ask for it before.
I don't know, because
And,
there's just so much that that I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in. I mean, I'm interested in it, but I just don't have the technology to do it. But it's just, I don't know. It's popped in my head. Like, whether it's live or not, I think people would take a serious consideration into checking out your tips or your
yeah,
teachings.
I've always wanted to either do a live stream or a little video where I go into one of the dance projects and kind of to like move the camera around so people can see like the little cartoon sets I've made from a different angle and see how things work.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's kind of. I think that'd be an interesting thing for people to see. I'm sure I'll get around to it one day.
You know what?
Who knows?
We're
Who knows?
gonna.
I've got plenty of time now to do it.
We're definitely gonna collab on that. I'm gonna like just. I might just keep poking you with them. Like, hey, you gonna set up those classes? Hey, you gonna set up those classes? I know there's a couple of people that I am really good friends with. I texted them today. I said, hey, you should really, tune in this guy. And like they love DGD. I was like, and or they're an artist at the same time. I'm like, dude, you should really check this guy out. And they're like, no shit. And like they just, you learn something new every day. And with Mattis, I knew of him being their album artwork creator for the longest time, but I didn't know if he did like Mothership or if he did Afterburner, which he did, correct? Right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, see, I would never know. That's a totally, completely different style. So I just never would have known. I don't really see those credits. I see your credits a lot too, which is so fucking cool. They're always crediting you and shit.
It's sweet. The fan base, the band's fan base is like probably the most loyal I know, and they're on top of their shit for sure.
Yeah, they.
Wait, I just had a special guest enter the room. I'm just gonna grab it.
Yeah, go ahead. Absolutely.
This is the dog from the Strawberries Wake music video. This is the dog that Will Swan has on his lap on the airplane.
On the airplane? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, she's called Elle the girl.
Elle the girl?
Elle.
How do you pronounce that?
My name is Elle.
My name is Elle.
She's the freaking sweetest.
Oh my god. She looks, I mean, obviously she looks just like the one in the music video. Dude, he was balling in that get up,
no,
man.
it is her. This is
it is her? What's up, baby girl?
I live with Sam Haleen. He's the guy who does dances, like most of dances, like live action videos.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the director of that video. So we brought Earl with us on that day, and we just thought, hey, we kind of want to get her in this video, and Will was down to have her on his lap, and it fit the, Will plays this kind of
this cool laid back guy.
Yeah. Just to have that kind of like white pussycat kind of looking thing on his lap, it worked perfectly.
It's a different dimension of Dr. Evil with his cat, like the ball cat. Like he's just like Dr. Evil in a sense. Dude, that video is so when I first watched the video, my first reaction was when everything was so calm, everything was so cool, and then all of a sudden you just see, hey, like right in the airplane window. I died laughing. I was like, that's his fucking personality, man. That's what he does. Like he's just like that goofy vocalist. I don't know, man. That video was very well put together. overall.
I'm so proud of the way like Sam did that. That was the first time I got to see Sam like work in that environment. Because whenever he's done other videos, I've been back home in England. But he freaking killed it. John Mess is such a trooper. Like he'll be up for whatever idea Sam has. You know, he's down to play the quirky character, which I think that takes, you know, that takes effort. Like I was on set on the day, and you have all these extras kind of sitting there in their plane seats in the background, and John has to be doing this, like, you know, at one point he has like a gas mask and he's like pretending to die, and like that's kind of it. That takes guts to do in front of this crowd full of people watching you.
Yeah, you're playing the role.
He performs on stage, but this is a little bit different.
Yeah, you're basically in an acting career at this point. I mean, you're playing the role like even before like the video starts shooting or whatever. Yeah, and with that music video, I don't know, that was just, I think, one of the most well put together music videos.
It was
just in
it's
general.
So fucking cool.
And the song's so fantastic. How many? So the you featured? Did Sam feature? Because the pup featured. So
yeah.
Who else featured?
No,
Was there
Sam
anybody else?
Feature.
No,
Sam,
he didn't. Oh, okay.
No, he's not camera shy, but he didn't feel the impulse to be in it. But I'm sure he will one day.
Yeah, I saw it
for the next one.
I saw it before you posted on your personal Instagram. I was like, "There's John. There he is, right there." It's like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, it's just so cool to see that. Yeah, I know. Congratulations. I can't wait for that album to come out. I already have it pre-ordered on my iTunes before it comes out. So wait, where did you go to school again for art, for production?
It was called Falmouth University. It's all the way. It was in a tiny little seaside town in like the bottom left of England. It only had like 2,000 students. It's a pretty small university, but it was a really, really cool time.
And you studied there for how many years? Like 4-ish?
Just 3 years.
Just 3 years?
England University is only 3 years. I don't know why. I think we're kind of lucky in that sense. I'd hate to do another year of university. But...
Maybe they don't scam you and actually teach you something on like some of these colleges in in America. No, I mean, it's crazy because like I did online colleges. I'm really close to getting my associates, and it's a great online program. Long story short, they started paying classes to. All right, so I had to pay for a class. It was like around $1,500 just to get an education of the school history itself. I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me? And it's like a religious school. I'm not gonna throw them out there like that, but I was like, yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, why is this gonna go on my GPA? You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just crazy. So some of these schools just love collecting the money and put you in debt. What's it called? Yeah, that's cool, man. Like, I'm gonna have to make my way out to California. You said you're in LA. I've never been there, so.
Yeah, dude. If you ever want to come stay, just come and crash with us.
Fuck yeah, dude. Absolutely, I'd appreciate it. We'll drum. We'll go grab some drinks. We'll grab some food.
Yeah.
Did you go to In-N-Out yet? I know that's gonna be one of my things as soon as I get to LA. I gotta try In-N-Out. Fucking.
I've been to In-N-Out so much that I am over In-N-Out. I know that's a really controversial opinion, but like, I could like take or leave In-N-Out now. But I remember the first time I had it, it blew my mind.
Yeah, I do their sauce. I forget what it's called.
It's just that Thousand Island, isn't it?
I believe so. Yeah, with ketchup and mayo in it, or something like that. It's basically.
Oh, are you talking about oh shit, what's it called? What, on the fries?
Yeah.
Animal style.
Animal style. Yeah. Sometimes they put it on the burger too. Fucking. That's like basically Chick-fil-A sauce. I think so. Yeah, you can ask it, or maybe people just do it on their own. I don't know.
Oh my god.
If you want a heart attack.
I'm suddenly not over In-N-Out anymore. So we got a little craving for it.
Fuck, man. Yeah, once this pandemic's over, we're definitely hooking up. I got a lot of things to do, and I got a lot of places to travel and see. So, but I appreciate you coming on, man. This was a really cool experience to kind of get your whole background. It was extremely and thoroughly interesting. I mean,
thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I've had a really good time.
Well, you know what? I'm going to start a petition in the description on YouTube. We're going to get a change.org petition so you can work with other artists such as myself and DJ Dave. This is ridiculous, dude. Like,
send directly to Trump.
Yeah, I mean, if Obama sells the site or Trump, it's going on somebody's desk. Somebody's signing it. We're going to get that many signatures. I'm going to start the petition right now. But I'll put you can check John's Instagram socials at John Howe, Michael Howe. And on YouTube, John Howe Media. Yeah, like again, I said I appreciate you coming on, man. We're gonna be talking more though throughout the year and such. So, well, good luck with everything, and I'll be talking to you soon, buddy.
Just before you go, wait, I just want to grab her again. Say bye, Elle.
Bye, Elle. It's a precious little baby. She's more famous than the band. She's more famous than
she's a superstar.
And Joby was just on with Andrew Wade the other day. I told him, I was like, dude, he probably has more attention than your records, honestly. Like, he was like dying. I was like, I know, man. I was like, fuck. All right, brother. I appreciate it. We're gonna I'll talk to you soon. So take care. Thanks for everybody for joining in. Peace, man.